What if the key to Gilead's downfall has been hiding in plain sight all along? The first 3 episodes of the Testament's asterisk just dropped, and they've already turned everything we know on its head. We've got a shocking link between Agnes, a true believer and daughter of Gilead, and a mysterious new girl from Canada named Daisy. This isn't just about the next generation, this is the spark that could burn it all down. In this video, we are breaking down the explosive first 3 episodes of the new Hulu series. We'll recap the biggest moments, explain that jaw-dropping ending, and dig into what it really means for the future of Gilead. Trust me, you have no idea what's coming. The series throws us right back in, 4 years after the wild ending of The Handmaid's Tale. Gilead is still Gilead, a brutal regime obsessed with birth rates and controlling women. The Mayday resistance is still out there fighting, but let's be honest, Gilead's power feels absolute. For the young women born into this world, this nightmare is the only reality they've ever known. They are the daughters of commanders, groomed in elite schools, totally clueless about the before times. But as we're about to see, even the most loyal minds can crack, and rebellion is about to bloom in the one place no one would ever look. We're immediately pulled back into Gilead's chilling reality through the eyes of Agnes, who we know is actually Hannah, June Osborne's long-lost daughter. Now a teenager, she's the adopted daughter of the powerful Commander Kyle. Agnes tells us she once bought into Gilead's whole story because, well, it was easier than admitting the people in charge were monsters. She lives with her father and a stepmother, Paula, who she hates so much she literally dreams about locking her in the attic. Agnes is a top student at Ardua Hall, basically an Aunt Lydia finishing school for future wives. The girls are color-coded, pink for the little ones, and green for those who have started their periods and are now on the marriage market. Agnes and her friends are plum girls, stuck in purple coats, waiting for womanhood to hit. Her life is all about strict rules and horrifying lessons. On a field trip, the girls are forced to watch a public hanging of men who assaulted a girl, a grim reminder that even in Gilead's order, women are never safe. The pressure cranks up when her stepmother starts trying to marry her off to a high commander. Desperate, Agnes decides her only way out is to become an aunt herself and pledges to join their order as a supplicant. Then, everything changes. The Pearl Girls arrive, missionaries in white from outside Gilead. And among them is Daisy, a new girl from Canada. Aunt Lydia, in her infinite wisdom, personally tasks Agnes with showing Daisy the ropes. But the Ardua Hall girls, including Agnes and her best friend Becca, don't trust these outsiders one bit. The tension is immediate. Agnes thinks Daisy is a mess and is especially weirded out by a tattoo on her arm. This instant dislike kicks off a chain of events that will change both of their lives forever. The episode ends with a full-on display of Gilead's brand of justice. A guardian is caught masturbating on school grounds, and his arm is publicly sawn off while the students cheer. Daisy is horrified and throws up in the hall, but in a surprising twist, Agnes follows her. Instead of ratting her out for cursing, Agnes looks at her and says they should keep it their little secret. Episode 2 kicks off with Agnes's world turning upside down. She gets her period, officially making her a green girl and ready for marriage. Everyone expects her to be thrilled, but she is secretly terrified. We see a little spark of chemistry between Agnes and a guardian named Garth. It's a forbidden connection that feels a lot like her mom's story with Nick, but she knows it's a dead end in Gilead. Meanwhile, we learn Daisy is not who she seems. We catch her secretly sketching a map of Ardua Hall, confirming she's a spy. That secret bond between her and Agnes is immediately put to the test. When Daisy gets hauled into corrections for the cursing incident, she's forced to wear a muzzle. In a truly twisted move, Aunt Vidala makes Agnes help torture Daisy. But then Daisy, under pressure, reveals that Agnes knew about the curse the whole time. Just like that, their fragile alliance seems to be shattered, and now Agnes is in the aunt's crosshairs. Then, the episode flips the script and shows us Daisy's real story. Through flashbacks, we see her life in Toronto with her parents, Neil and Melanie, was all a lie. They ran a vintage clothing shop as a front for the Mayday resistance. Their world imploded when Gilead agents stormed in and murdered them, leaving Daisy an orphan. And this is where Elizabeth Moss makes her comeback as June Osborne. She finds Daisy, who's now in social services, and drops a bombshell: Neil and Melanie weren't her real parents. They were Mayday operatives who adopted her after she was smuggled out of Gilead as a baby. June tells her she's in serious danger and needs to work with Mayday. This completely reframes Daisy. She's not just some convert, she's a key operative on a mission to infiltrate the regime that murdered her family. Episode 3 is where all the pieces come together in one stunning, game-changing reveal. The perspective shifts to Daisy, and we learn her mission: retrieve a set of incriminating documents for the resistance. Her mission takes her to the last person anyone would suspect, Aunt Lydia. In a secret meeting in her office, Lydia reveals that she is the high-ranking mole inside Gilead, feeding intelligence to Mayday. It's an unbelievable twist that makes you question everything she's ever done. Then, she drops another bomb. While prepping the intel for Daisy, Lydia implants a microdot of information under the ink of Daisy's arm tattoo, the same one Agnes hated so much. Right at that moment, Agnes and Becca walk in, catching Daisy alone with the terrifying Aunt Lydia. Cornered, Lydia decides to blow the whole thing wide open. She turns to the girls and reveals Daisy's true identity: she is the infamous baby Nicole, the child smuggled out of Gilead all those years ago. In a single instant, Agnes's entire world shatters. She's not looking at some random rebel girl, she's looking at her biological sister. The show finally confirms it: Agnes is Hannah. She and Nicole are half-sisters, both daughters of June Osborne. Aunt Lydia admits everything: she's been leaking the files that could bring Gilead to its knees. The hatred between Agnes and Daisy vanishes, replaced by the shocking, incredible truth that they are family. That episode 3 ending changes everything. The reveal that Daisy is baby Nicole and that her sister is Agnes is the heart of the entire season. This isn't just a family reunion, it's a strategic one. June Osborne's two daughters, one raised inside Gilead, one out, are now on the same team. This is also a major, but necessary, change from Margaret Atwood's novel. The showrunners made a smart call: in this version, Daisy isn't June and Nick's biological daughter. It's a practical move to make Agnes and Daisy close in age, so their relationship as sisters and classmates at Ardua Hall could be the central drama. The emotional core is still the same: they are sisters, bound by their mother and a shared destiny to destroy Gilead. But the most critical piece of this ending is Aunt Lydia. She's not the loyalist she pretends to be, she's a master strategist playing the long game from the very top. By telling the sisters the truth, she's given them more than just a microdot of intel. She's given them the personal motivation to see this through. She just created a brand new Mayday cell right under the commander's noses. Just as we're reeling from this, we're hit with a massive cliffhanger. After the meeting, Daisy is seen handing off the map she drew. She tries to get a message to June, but the Guardian she talks to acts like he's never heard of her. Suddenly, Daisy realizes she's been set up. The bus she's on pulls away, taking her deep behind enemy lines. We're left to believe she's completely alone and her mission is toast. She's a lone agent, lost in the belly of the beast. So, what does this all mean for the rest of the season? The possibilities are insane. First, is Daisy really trapped? The cliffhanger feels like a setup, but by who? This could be a test from Mayday, or even Aunt Lydia, to see what she's made of. Or, the darker option, there's another mole in Mayday who sold her out. Her fight to get back on track is going to be a huge part of what comes next. Second, what will Agnes do? Her entire life has been a lie. She knows who her real mother is and that her sister is a freedom fighter. She's not just some girl trying to get out of an arranged marriage anymore, she's the daughter of Gilead's most wanted woman. Get ready to see Agnes go from a quiet student to a cunning operative, using her status as a commander's daughter to fight from the inside. Finally, what's Lydia's next move? She just bet everything on two teenagers. Her survival, and the success of her entire plan, rests on them. Her complicated journey from one of Gilead's architects to its potential destroyer will be a central focus. The fate of Gilead might just depend on this unholy alliance between the woman who helped build its cruelty and the daughters of its greatest enemy. The first 3 episodes of the Testaments have set up an incredible season of rebellion, family, and secrets. We have our heroes, Agnes and Daisy, and our wild-card mastermind, Aunt Lydia, all on a collision course with the regime. But I want to hear from you. What do you think happened to Daisy on that bus? Is it a trap, or part of a bigger plan? And how is Agnes going to use what she knows inside Ardua Hall? Drop all your theories in the comments below. If you love geeking out over every detail of Gilead, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more recaps and ending explained videos for every single episode of the Testaments. You are not going to want to miss what happens next.